So as we think back to the performance on our KPIs, we think about those pressures and where those companies are facing from increased competition, a very difficult economy. I've got to show an ROI on everything I'm doing, and I've got fewer people and less dollars to be able to do it. Guess what? These technologies directly aid them, the best-in-class, the top performers. These technologies directly aid them in thwarting those pressures because it literally helps neutralize them, and also, most importantly, enables them to implement their strategy effectively to make sure I'm aligned with sales, to make sure that I'm actually leveraging that data and sharing that information quickly and promptly. So I wanted to spend a little bit of time as I jump into where and how the companies are looking at from a 2011 perspective from a trends to go into some of the specific areas and what specific channels are they using. And this very important area of mobile marketing adoption in 2011 is becoming paramount. Take a look here. This is basically asking, do you have today a mobile marketing strategy that is integrated into your channel mix? Are you readily using mobile marketing? And I know it's very new, and I understand that it's still burgeoning, but you see literally almost a third of the organizations, the best-in-class organizations, saying, yes, I'm focused on this. I'm concentrating on this. And even more importantly, okay, it's still new and there's still a lot of development going on, but look, 33% are saying, yeah, I'm planning to implement a mobile marketing channel strategy into the mix within the next 12 months, within calendar 2011. So when you look at the best in class, the top performing companies, 60% of them are saying, I've got it or I'm getting it, and I'm getting it this year. So I've either got it now or I'm getting it this year. So very keenly focused on this key area in terms of driving, mobile marketing and how they are actually going to leverage that not only as a channel itself but into the channel of the other areas. And I wanted to spend a little bit of time on the social aspects. And if we look in terms of where companies are spending, we saw that technology, web is top of the line. We absolutely understand that. We see that mobile is coming in. And now let's talk about social media. And remember back to that pressures that we saw. We clearly see that 50% of all companies are struggling with the pace of change. Well, these are the things that are causing the pace and change to move so rapidly, things like mobile media as well as social media. But we see clearly that companies are investing greatly in terms of social media within the next 12 months. You see traditional media here at 23%. That's things, as one would expect, mass media, print, etc., trade shows, all of that. Its spending is going up. That is not a surprise because 2010 was a pretty tough year, not as tough as 2009, but the last 24 months have been difficult. So we're seeing spending increase, but look at the quantum leap that you're seeing companies spend in terms of social media. And recall that this, again, the sample size here is almost 500 companies, 453 companies. And this is across, again, by B2C, B2B, both in the United States, North America, Canada, Mexico, EU, Asia Pac. We are seeing this across the board. We're seeing this from large and small. When you look at that 453 customers, important to realize the average size was around $500 million in revenue. The average number of employees was 3,200. But it's very crucial to also realize that this is an even mix from billion-dollar and greater enterprises down to under $50 million in revenues. So again, all respondents are looking at this, and when we look at the best-in-class as well as these other measures, it's representative of the entire market. Let's continue on and look at a couple of other social media. Let's talk about adoption rates here. What are social media adoption rates looking like? And now we start looking at the best-in-class clearly getting the picture much more quickly and much more readily than all other respondents. And we see, do you have an active social media engagement strategy? Are you? Yes, it's changing. It's very difficult. There's a lot going on. But do you have an active strategy? Are you actually making sure that you understand where, when, why, and how you're going to engage? Almost 60% of the best-in-class are going, yep, check that box off. I'm completely focused on that. And less than 4 out of every 10, all of the other respondents, this is the industry average and the laggards combined, are saying, yes, I've got an active social media engagement strategy. You can look at that the inverse way, which is the bottom box. So you've got a passive, or you've got no social media engagement. Yeah, around 60%. Just to make sure, did I capture